Hello everyone, Treecks here and welcome back to Yoshi's Story. Welcome to the second finale, I must say. After completing the game once, playing every single stage 1 in all of the worlds, today we will be finishing all of the stages 2, our second run across the story mode of Yoshi Story. Lift Castle is actually the next stage we need to do. After completing Mecha Castle, Lift Castle is actually the next one. Platforming wise, probably just as tricky as the first one. But hey, it's the finale, so what else did you expect? Of course these stages are going to be challenging. There should be one Yoshi we did not use yet, so let's go with... I'm pretty sure it was yellow, so... Let's try not falling off the stage this time. And that is not something you're supposed to do. Anyway, let's start over. As you can see, there's a locked door here. And of course no key, so we need to start looking for that. Where's the key? Find the key. Face the locked door and push the control stick up. Yeah, first we need that key. Obviously can't find that here. Somewhere deeper into the stage. Here we have these black shy guys again. Remember, these things actually drop some heavy load on you. You also should not eat them, because they're not very tasty. Unlike the other shy guys. But this here is actually going to be the main gist of this lift castle. All these saw blades and other things that actually go around on rails. But in this first room it's most of all these saw blades we need to avoid. And I'm doing a very poor job of that. There's no melons yet here in the beginning, so we can actually skip out on all of the tasty fruit we see over here. Not interested once again. Here we will finally start collecting melons. The question mark block over here is something we're going to pick up later, because this is going to be a switch. But first we want to make sure we've got everything on the route, otherwise, just like my first attempt, I'm going to end up in an endless pit. There's a couple of melons on these rails right over here, but that is not everything. If we move further on, there's actually another guide rail containing some more. Oh. Yeah, that is what killed me last time, so be careful for the bumper balls here. And they are actually meant to knock you off the stage, which I already did successfully once. But if you've got all of the melons here, 4 of them you should have, both guide rails containing 2, you can actually safely get the switch and try to make a run for it. Also try to get all of the coins here, if you're interested in a high score. But you're going to want to make sure before the switch runs out that you actually reach this point over here. There's another switch resetting your counter. We can go up even further for melon number 6. And a lot of coins. Hell yeah. Let's spread the love. Oh, there's even more down there. Awesome. Got them all. Next up, there's a door and a pipe. The pipe is actually continuation. The door we want to go in first. Because there's an enemy here, guarded by bumper balls. It's supposed to be challenging to actually kill this guy, but in all honesty, this is not challenging. Just aim. And still miss. There we go. If you're able to take him out, you will actually receive the key. Remember the locked door in the first room? Let's go take a look at that door right now. But first we need to get back to it, of course. And that is where the pipe comes in. Let's move on to room number 2. And there's nothing up here. Always love it when there's a little bit of room. But in this case, no secret. Here we can actually find Miss Warp number 2 and an umbrella section. Technically introduced in an earlier stage, but we did not play that one yet, so we get introduced to it here. If you have an umbrella, you can actually float down slowly. In this case, even somewhat required, because there's a lot of stuff going on here. A special heart can be found in this room, and of course multiple melons. Go to the left first, because the heart is immediately right over here. First melon is down here. Oh, stupid bumper. Also missed the second one. Yeah, I think I need to redo this room. Here's number 9, officially. But I'm getting it 7th. Here's 2 more. Let's land on the cloud. Also works. And that way we have 9. Miss Warp number 1 is down here. And for good reason. Because we can use her to warp back to number 2. Something we need to do because I missed 2 melons up there. Yeah, that is not something to be ashamed of. This kind of room is perhaps even better to try without the umbrella, because that way at least you'll have your flutter jump. So if the bumper balls become annoying, you can at least try to flutter back, which works a lot better, I think. But anyway, do it whichever way you want. With this I have shown off both ways, so I am satisfied. Let's move on back to the first room, because it is pretty obvious that is where this leads. Now we're back to the first room, all the way to the right. Here we have the Shy Guy again, the guy we actually saw at the beginning, the black Shy Guy. This Shy Guy does not look yummy. Eating him might hurt the tummy. Yeah, black is not a good color in this game, so let's see if we can hit you, because I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to actually run under you. But this way also works. And there we are. Key door. This time with the key in tow. Let's move on. Final part of the stage. More black Shy Guys carrying some load. And I'm surprised he missed me. I'm a little bit too close to him. Let's try doing this room without getting hit. I was able to do that in my last practice run, so should be a good challenge here. Here's a bubble up here. This one containing a parachute melon, so don't be alarmed. And while getting the lucky fruit too, be careful for the wind that is actually blowing here. It can actually trip you up majorly. Bam! Be careful, as you can see, even if this giant rock gets dropped by the Shy Guy, it will also count as a ground pound, you might say. Knocking open all of the bubbles. And I saw that coming, so that's the benefit of actually doing some practice runs. Because that's an easy melon to miss, in all honesty. Pretty sure there's nothing here, no hidden secrets in the ground, so... Now, let's go to probably the most difficult room in this stage. There's a Miss Warp here, so if you happen to die, you can easily reset the room here. Not that it will help me, because I'm gonna go for a perfect run here, so I'm not even allowed to die once. So all of these checkpoints don't really help me. But hopefully these bumper balls will help me, because there's a heart up there. And these things aren't really working out. Yeah, there we go. Just make sure you don't get knocked into the abyss. And eventually you should be fine. Oh. Oh. Thank God for the flutter jump. That has definitely saved me a lot. Safety again. Only one egg. And now for something interesting. Here we have these ghost platforms again. However, this one is actually on a guide rail, on a lift, like everything is in this stage. Making this one extra interesting. Only downside to this thing is it does tend to actually despawn some of the items and sprites here. Yeah, like this one over here. This happens more often. There's supposed to be a melon on this top guide rail too, but apparently it did not appear again. Once again, that happens more often. Oh, be careful here. The platform you're standing on is pretty wide, but still, you can easily get knocked off here. Oh, let's stay in the middle. It should be 20. It's 19 for me, because once again, a melon did not want to appear. And yeah, we can't go back. Unfortunately, so we need to go back to the warp later on. With all of the other melons gone, the game should have an easier time with its memory. And therefore, next time it should appear. And you would think a 64-bit system would have enough memory for stuff like that. But even in games like this, that happens. Let's make sure we survive this minigame, because otherwise it's not going to be relevant anyway. Up here we can actually find a hidden bubble. If it weren't for my practice run, I definitely wouldn't have thought of actually looking up here. But this one actually containing a switch. And the switch, if pressed, if the egg block wants to cooperate. But anyway, if we press the switch, we get 2 free melons. 21 and 22, officially. Let's go check out the route before we start the minigame. There's a Poochie here, and therefore there's also a secret. Melon number 23. Yeah, I'm just gonna go continue with the official numbering, even though I missed one. But anyway, here is going to be the final 7, normally. Oh, and this one actually falls really slowly. Making it extra difficult to actually stack them up. Just make sure to keep your stack straight up. till 7 are on top. Really hard to do, but this is how you're supposed to do it. And then it's time to actually play this minigame. There's only one real obstacle here, namely the wind, this part. Just keep in mind, the wind does not blow the stack of melons, it only blows you. So you can just keep on moving normally, it will just slow you down a bit. But there we go, all with all not really that difficult. Just make sure the wind does not trip you up. And that should give you the final couple of melons, at least normally it would. And the lucky fruit here will actually reveal an N. One of the final letters in our secret message. The last bubble is actually the final special heart, in case you were still missing that. And then we can warp back to the beginning. However, we are going to warp back to Miss Warp number 3. Because there is a silly melon that actually didn't spawn. And I'm bringing this umbrella. Unfortunately you cannot. As you can see, if you leave the room, Yoshi will automatically drop it. So, it's not a game mechanic you can actually bring outside of the room. Let's quickly head back towards the ghost platform section. Because of the busy crowd with all of the sprites there, it does tend to happen that one of the melons does not appear. However, a trick to solve that is actually making sure all of the other melons are gone. And the game will have an easier time actually spawning the one that you have missed. Yeah, there it is. And this time it does appear. And with 30 melons, not per se in the way you would expect, but still. 30 melons later, it is time to actually face Baby Bowser again. You're once again not going to cover the dialogue. You can read it if you want, if you read quick enough. I'll be covering it later. I'll be using the super happy tree that grows here now in order to get the lucky fruit. Because as you can see, the lucky tree actually grows a lot of fruit, including a lucky fruit. So you can even get invincibility during the final boss. However, it does appear limited, I think. After 3 or so hearts, you will not get another one. So it's not really infinite in that sense, but still, you can make this boss fight really easy. The true way of covering the final boss will happen later. This was only the second run. We win a second time. Super Happy Tree returns to the Yoshis. At least for now. Because next episode, Baby Bowser will have it again. When we start our third run. Baby Bowser gets taken out of his castle for now. This has been stage 2 of every single page. Our final score? 56-52. Pretty good score. I'm pretty sure I needed 5500 or something in order to beat my previous high score, so this should be enough. Yeah, it's enough. This is going to be 33-9 something. Yeah, 33-995, beating my old high score, stage 1 run with 600 points. Yoshi Story has been completed a second time. Only 2 more to go. Oh yeah, I need to input my name again. Let's do it a little bit differently this time, so we can actually keep them apart. All of my runs. This time I'm going to spell my name... like this. Technically also says Treecks. Hey, it's the game's fault for not giving me space for 7 letters. But there we go. That was run number 2. Time to recap the story. And once again, cut out the epilogue and the credits. That will happen later. Page number 1. Surprise! The story had barely started. To find happiness, the Yoshis needed to hurry. Balloon monsters tried to slow them down, but the Yoshis kept moving. Now the Yoshis were a little closer to finding the super happy tree. Next up, page number 2. Blark's boiler. As the page turned, an ocean of boiling hot lava bubbled out. If the Yoshis didn't cross, they would never find the super happy tree. Blark and the lava were scary. The Yoshis bravely fought their way through. Stage number 2 for page 3 was the tall tower. The Yoshis saw a tall tower. Maybe they could see a happy ending from there. After a tough climb, the Yoshis found Inviso waiting for them at the top. With a closer look, they beat the invisible ghost and saw a castle far away. Then we move on to page number 4, the Jungle World's Jungle Puddle. The jungle lake was swimming with hungry fish called blurbs. The blurbs would swim and jump, but mostly they liked to eat and eat. The Yoshis didn't want to become fish bait, so they quickly swam away. Still not too sure about the swimming, but still. Page number 5. Lots of fish. The deep white ocean would not be an easy swim, but the Yoshis dove in. For the first time in their lives, the Yoshis swam to the ocean floor. No, did that in the first stage too. After reaching the shore, the Yoshis found their story coming to a close. Which happened in today's episode, page number 6, Lift Castle. After a long journey, the Yoshis found the castle at the end of the book. And the author of the story was none other than bad old Baby Bowser. But without shedding a tear, the Yoshis chased Crybaby Bowser away. And so ends the second story of Yoshi Story. 2 more to go. We have stage number 3 in every single page to do, and even then, stage number 4 of every single page. 2 more runs we need to do. 2 more chances to actually improve our high score. 33,995. Looks like a good score. But now with 8 Yoshis in tow, and therefore getting the maximum Yoshi bonus, we should be able to do better next time, having the white and black Yoshi from the beginning, and therefore getting maximum Yoshi bonus in the first 2 pages as well. In theory, we should be able to actually beat this score even more. Thank you all for watching. This has been another happy end. Next time is going to be a little bit more difficult. Stage 3 for every single world is not the third one for nothing. It's going to be a little bit more difficult compared to the first 2. Let's see how challenging that can be. See you folks in run number 3 of Yoshi Story. Treecks out!